It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Raised over 350 million. It's a beautiful room, a big room. I don't have any plan to call it after myself. That was fiction. Probably going to call it the Presidential Ballroom or something like that. We haven't really thought about a name yet.
Cap! We're just going to call it the Presidential Ballroom. Cap! He said, remember this, in about 2 months, or maybe a year from now, maybe 3 years from now, as soon as that first pillar go up, he gonna be like, I think we should name this the Trump Presidential Ballroom. Get the fuck out of here, Cap!
We've raised over 350 million. Well, you know, it's a crooked ad. I heard he's airing it. Canada, that's why I pulled everything. With Canada, they did a crooked ad. They knew it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. What they did is really dishonest. And I heard they were pulling the ad. I didn't know they were putting it on a little bit more. They could have pulled it tonight. They could pull it Monday. Well, that's dirty playing. But I can play dirtier than they can, you know? Well,
so Donald Trump decided to end trade negotiations with Canada over an ad made by Ontario's government that used selective audio from the former President Ronald Reagan. Let's look at that. Let's see if we can find that. I'm gonna Google that shit so we can find it. Dude, not interested. Let's see if we can find a video.
Ad featuring the former president's anti-tariff speech is misleading. Well, rather than just watch the unedited video on their YouTube channel like they suggested, I copied the whole transcript and isolated the clips used in the ad so that together we can read what those notoriously manipulative Canadians cut out to make the ad so disingenuous. Okay, so for those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is...
He ain't finna talk about him. Let's see if we can listen to it on her.
And I don't pay.
My fellow Americans, Prime Minister Nakasone of Japan will be visiting me here at the White House next week. It's an important visit because while I expect to take up our relations with our good friend Japan, which overall remain excellent, recent disagreements between our two countries on the issue of trade will also be high on our agenda. As perhaps you've heard, last week I placed new duties on some Japanese products in response to Japan's inability to enforce their trade agreement with us on electronic devices called semiconductors. Now, imposing such tariffs or trade barriers and restrictions of any kind are steps that I am loath to take, and in a moment I'll mention the sound economic reasons for this, that over the long run such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. But the Japanese semiconductors were a special case. We had clear evidence that Japanese companies were engaging...
All right, that ain't it. They tripping. This is the ad.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Okay, that's pretty. That ain't that bad. But what that ad did was just like I said that one big beautiful bill did. It cut out the fat. Okay, it cut out all the jargon and the bull crap that we don't even need to listen to. Yeah, whatever. Y'all ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna listen either. But y'all can go find that. I just typed in what I type in. Ontario ad tariffs, and you can find that, and then you can find the full version on there too. So
I would. I'd be willing to. I would have now too. You know, I left. I said, "Come on over. Just put the government back." All they have to do is say yes, and then it's over. Then we start, and then we go into a negotiation. Look, Obamacare has been terrible. We can make it better. I'm all for that. But they're not, and they want to allow many illegal people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from mental institutions, from all over the world. They want them to get paid, and that's going to hurt the citizens of our country, and I just can't do it. I would. I'd be.
mind you, Obama, I think was it in Obama's second term that Obamacare was pushed through and made happen and everything, you know, because it was like when Obamacare first launched, it was like a shit show. But it took some time to get it together and go right. It took his second term, right? What's taking Donald Trump so long to come up with Trump Care? Because Trump don't care. But y'all gonna keep believing, oh, we can do better than you can do better. Do better for the people. Do better for the people. Joker, I see it. I'm like, damn, they can't spell regular words, but they be cussing the shit out of them. Cussing up a storm. No, if you can fix Obamacare, fix it. Fix Obamacare. You said you could do better. Do better. Quit. But you sure can make a executive order for a ballroom. That don't take much experience to do, okay? Mind you, you don't even have to use people that think. You get a bunch of, well, I don't know. Ain't no Mexicans working on the ballroom. They scared to come to work. But if you can make Obamacare better, if you can make it better, make it better. What's taking you so long? This is your second presidency. What are you doing? You want a third term? Is he gonna make Obama? And in his third term, he's still gonna be complaining about Obamacare. That's all I'm saying.
The party's going to go its own way, but I've been going my way. I'm going to fight for wins in Pennsylvania, and there's issues that I will agree and align with on the Republican side, specifically like Israel, and I celebrated those great peace deal. And I also really very strong that we have to secure our border, and I was the co-sponsor of the Lakin bill as well. And right now, I'm in a minority that I think it's wrong to shut our government down in this situation right now. And now, so for me, and there's things that I strongly believe in too on the Democratic side, but I'm always going to vote country over party. I'm always going to vote for paying for the military over my party and those things, because I think that's what's appropriate right now. The direction where my party's going, I mean, won't see, but I can control my vote and my voice, and that's exactly where I am. And I'm going to call balls and strikes, and it's an easy choice to pick my country over the party, especially in circumstances like this. The party's going to go its own way, but I've been.
Who is John Fetterman? He's a member of the Democratic Party. Okay. He calling it out. He's one of the people who are voting for the one big beautiful bill because he's like, man, I gotta call it out. You know what? He probably like me. Like, hey, man. You know, at the end of the day, it's some bull crap. But I know we gotta do it. And he like, let's just vote. I get it. Because he's obviously not ready to fight with the rest of the Democrats, but maybe he's fought on other issues and people have led him astray. And I'm gonna just say this: if I was a Democrat in whatever state he's from, Washington, he's from Pennsylvania, Oh, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. Pennsylvania is a blue state. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back at all.
We've done a lot together in the last, especially in the last year. What we've done is incredible. Peace to the Middle East, and they were a very big factor in it. So I
Peace
just want
in
to
the
thank
Middle
you.
East.
I was thinking, we're landing here. We're going to fuel up, and it's such an honor to have you on the plane. You don't do this often. First, I don't think he's ever done this actually, but we've done a lot.
Is this they in the plane, the gift from Qatar? They're in the gift. It's an expensive gift. Big, beautiful gift.
I'm starting because you're in my country, so I want to welcome you, Mr. President. And as soon as I found out that he's coming to refuel, I said, I'm not going to allow him to take off unless I come and say hello to him. So thank you very much, Mr. President, and it's always good seeing you. I'm starting because you're.
I think it'll hold, yeah. Oh, it's good. Well, if it doesn't hold, I mean, if it does hold, that will be Hamas. And Hamas will be not hard to take care of. It will be very quickly. But I hope it holds for Hamas too, because you know they gave us their word on something. They said they took out gang members. Well, I hope that's right. But they gave us their word on something, so I think it's going to. And if it doesn't, then they'll have a very, very big problem.
They got gang members over there in Gaza. I don't know. Sounds kind of scripted, but whatever. The ceasefire, he says the Hamas will have a very big problem if they disobey the ceasefire at this point. But guess what? They're not. Y'all, mind you, we still talking to Fox News. I told y'all this is the Republican side of TikTok because they are on hush. They won't post anything that's regarding the $130 million. They'll post about everything else except for the $130 million. Why? Because they think it's illegal. They just don't want to speak out on it, because if they speak out on some bull crap that is illegal, then their credibility will go out the window. So they just avoid it at all costs. I would do that too. You know, if I was guilty of something, I'll just avoid it at all costs. You'd be like, PJ, are you a cheater? I'd be like, you know what? It's a nice day outside. I think I'm going to go walk my dog real quick. That's Fox News.
What will Russia have to do for you to reschedule your meeting with Putin?
I'm going to have to know that we're going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time. I've always had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin, but this has been very disappointing. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Middle East. I mean, we have Azerbaijan and Armenia. That was very tough. In fact, Putin told me on the phone, he said, boy, that was amazing, because everybody tried to get that done and they couldn't. I got it done. You and others, if you look at India and Pakistan, I could say almost any one of the deals that I've already done, I thought would have been more difficult than Russia and Ukraine, but it didn't work out that way. There's a lot of hatred between the two. Between Zelensky and Putin, there's tremendous hatred.
What will Russia have to do?
Okay, now Fox News. They speak on Timothy Mellon revealed as Trump ally who donated $130 million to pay troops. Not one Fox host had anything to say about this over the weekend. That's insane. Or maybe Fox ain't had enough time to update their TikTok. Give them time to update their TikTok, and I guarantee you they'll say something about this. Because they've said something about everything. Like everything that's not important, they've said something about it. But the important stuff, I don't know. They might make a post about it. They'll like notify their people, but be like, we really don't want to talk about this.